Welcome to the wrong news at 5 at the wrong time, and I put the wrong title on too. Except I couldn't put that down because I hadn't realized I made the mistake yet. Catch 22. Welcome to the show. This is Wolf Alexander, the independent for Congress, the one that's going to win. Followed by 434 more, and 34 in the Senate. And then a female president, and then all the MAGA crap will go back in the other direction. Never return. Especially the Jesus and Christians and all that junk. Never again. Let's see. Well, I have been walking the fastest that I've ever walked around this air racetrack, which is just absolutely fantastically fun. Basically, I get my momentum going and try not to stop and swerve and stuff, and it's really fun. It's sort of like skiing without the skis. And the hill, and the lift ticket, the drive away from the city, which I would enjoy getting away from, but not actually making the drive and all that pain in the neck. So this is more fun. Now, let's see. Squirrel! I don't know if you caught that. I really should cover up the lens because sometimes I was aiming it yesterday at pedestrians. I don't want to do that. But I'm learning how to hold this. Oh, but I'm getting a microphone, so I'll take care of that on Monday or Tuesday. It's a wired mic, and I can hook it up on my lapel and put my phone in my pocket, and all will be right with the world. Even though it is right now. Here on WEED, the station for your complete crazy adventure entertainment pleasure. I am walking very fast for Congress, technically, officially, and now. So, glad you're joining me on this very pleasant, chilly evening here in Washington Square Park, in the 10th District of New York, in Lower Manhattan, in New York City, State, County. This is about my 5th time around, I would guess. I don't count them. I think it's about half a mile, and I haven't measured it. But whatever. All I care about is speed. And there are points when I get a nice downhill boost and I can really get up to at least 450 miles an hour, which is 4.5 miles an hour. Like here is not bad. But I'm only using one arm, which really... Maybe I can hook the phone up. Hold on a second. Can I do this? No, then it's going to film everybody. Damn it. Hold on. Let me see if I can think of it. Okay. I'll switch the camera. I don't know. Well, anyway. My flat performance is slightly affected by the radio, which makes no sense at all. I'm always listening for lunatics that I might have to throw into a bus if they don't get quiet. But I haven't really heard anything lately. So, that's fun. I roared through that circle like you don't want to do in New Jersey, otherwise you'll end up in a side of a diner. I haven't done that, but I imagine it's possible. Okay, well, I am now at the northwest corner, almost. Actually, almost the straight west corridor. And turning to starboard, and you're eastward. Past some chess tables, but no chess games. Or checkers, I suppose. Or Chinese checkers, if you got really creative. Or actually, I don't see chessboards on these tables. That's confusing. Maybe they're just plain tables. Never even really noticed.
Give me a lighter. No. Lighter.
And there is the arch up ahead. I would say about 110 yards, 20 yards. But it's changing as I move. I would say about 1.5 yards a minute. Excuse me, a second. That's 4.5 miles an hour. Oh, well, I could turn off here on the wilderness route, but I do enjoy going fast. And all the attention and all the remembrance, even if people aren't going to my website now, y'all will remember me and see me tomorrow and the day after and the day after. Then one of these days you'll just be like, alright, well, I'll check it out. And there's actually a QR code now on my flag that you can use to expedite your online adventure reading the most interesting political platform you've ever seen. And the best, but I can only guarantee most interesting. I'm here at the center. Well, not the center, in front of the arch. Passing through traffic. Continuing eastward. Bound for the other corner. And then another one. And then another one. And I noticed, and I don't know if you have, that it's called Washington Square, and this ain't no square. It's a rectangle. Maybe there was a square here before, but I have to read the history on Wikipedia, and I haven't done that yet. If you'd like to tell me, I would love to know why it's called a square when it is a rectangle. I'm not trying to be a smartass, I was just wondering. I have not made my way to a tree to relax yet, but it is so chilly that I don't think I'm going to this evening. Well, I do have my blanket, but I'm not really dressed for colder weather, and I don't want to suffer. I've already was sitting on Cold Stone for a while, and there was no ice cream there. Do you get that joke? They still exist. I went to an ice cream place last night, except it wasn't ice cream, it was yogurt, which wasn't quite what I wanted, but it was still good. So, that was okay. I'll look harder for ice cream at night, although I have fruit, I have pizza. Okay, so I could go stop for cereal, but if I do that, it's going to be a huge shopping round, and I don't want to spend that much money. So I'm just going to go with ice cream if I can find some. Obviously, I could use my phone, but sometimes it's fun to just find something and go there, which is what I did last night, but it wasn't ice cream. I couldn't say no because she was so nice once I found out it wasn't ice cream. So I think it was her business, which was really cool. The gender gap is going to be fixed simply by removing the men from power, from all the seats of power. All of the men, except for me, are gone from Congress. How's that sound? Girls, I will do that for you. All I want is my one seat. You can have 434 in Congress and 34 in the Senate. Plus president. Speaker. I want speaker for that. I think that's fair. I'm not going to speak all the time. I just want to... I know the Constitution backwards and forwards and how the other side can possibly use it to try to stop we the people, but I won't let them. So the question is, should I turn around and deal with that lunatic? I don't think so. But I will make another lap and see if he's doing something worse, better, or none at all, as in gone, which would be my preference. But it's a big park, so it's hard to be sure where somebody goes until you've found out. So... Actually, I think I'm going to switch the camera. Well, no, never mind. I'll leave it up. Since it's just my Truman button. Harry Truman in 1948, who won the best political campaign before mine. This one. Everybody that knew anything, all the experts, all those people on TV that you hate, hopefully, they said he was going to lose. And he said, no, I'm not. And he won. Mostly because the other guy just was sort of a lame duck, you know what I mean? He just didn't have any pizzazz. At least he thought he already won and didn't think he should risk it, which is, I think, what Kamala did. I don't want to tell her she was a bad candidate, but I wish she would have won. Then I wouldn't have the added task of making sure that the president in 2028 is a girl, but it's about time, so I'll do that too. It really is about time. I was watching that Desi Lydic show about all the stuff, and not the show, just the clips online, and I wish I could get the show. If I have to pay for it, if it's not free, I have trouble saying yes. So anyway, it's really unfortunate that this country is 49th or 50th. That was in 2017. I can't imagine we're getting better as Chief Cocksucker Donald Trump, Mr. Man, the worst treater of females since Caligula or somebody like that. I mentioned Rome again, damn it. I was just yelling at myself yesterday because for the first time ever, not ever, but like lately I said something about Rome, which is so stupidly masculine. Now, for some reason, I would love to figure out why, but then I have to think about Rome to do it, which I don't want to do. So that's a catch-22. Anyway, so yeah, he is, and was, and still is, Barron can't get a girlfriend because Donald will steal her, which I don't support any part of that discussion. So, both of them are horrible. One's in training, and clearly he's well on his way to be dictator. What do you call it? Heir. The heir. The hot air. Oh, we have a kerfuffle at the circle. I don't know about what. Particularly. Oh, these are the chess tables. Okay. On the other side, they're just regular tables. Those were two of the police I wanted to defang, not defund. Very big difference. Defund is bad. That takes away somebody's job, somebody's whatever. Don't do that. Keep the money flowing just fine. But defang, remove some of the things that they can do, which everybody doesn't like, at least everybody that's not a police officer. Like the beatings and the unconstitutional treatment, all that stuff. And the shootings. And the stabbings if they carried knives, and I think police officers should carry swords and guns, not guns anymore. That's on my defang the police list. The more money we give them, then the more things we can take away that we don't like. The guns, the ability to arrest people for doing nothing wrong, that needs to be fixed. And there's a whole heap of stuff that they do that I will see corrected, so you can stand by for that and a few turns of the calendar. In the northwest corner again, heading towards the arch at about 350 miles an hour. That's 3.5 miles an hour for those of you correcting for non-story time. Multiply by 100 your ground speed, and you will get your flight speed when you are high and walking around as fast as you can and trying not to hit anybody while not actually slowing down. I mean, I slow down. For women, exclusively. For men, never. Unless it's going to cause an accident involving women. Then I slow down. Other than that, no. That's the Mario theme. If you haven't seen my video making fun of Luigi, you should really see that. He's getting what he deserves, which is perhaps the worst torture on Earth. Do you know what that torture is? He has probably 100,000 of you who would love to go out with him, at least. And he can't. And by the time he can, nobody's going to remember his name. And he knows that. So he's suffering. And I think that's good because he shot the wrong person. He shouldn't have shot anybody to start with, but he didn't use his Ivy League noggin, which should have told him that the ones in charge are the ones causing the problem, not the ones who work for the ones in charge. Therefore, he just killed some schmuck who was working for the one in charge. Not really very effective. It did sort of galvanize the troops, but not exactly in the right direction. So, that's my take on it. I am now in the northeast corner, almost. And it is Saturday night, and I really want to do something other than go back to my apartment or my room. But I absolutely hate bars, because I hate sitting around, if you haven't figured that one out, and I hate paying lots of money for something I don't enjoy, which would be alcohol and the price. So the entire experience is horrible, but that's what people do on a night out. Kinds of people I would like to talk to, especially when it's sort of cold out here and I can't hang out. So that's my choice. It's either definitely nothing or definitely not anything anyway, probably because I'm so miserable and just not enjoying the cocktail whatever experience. I don't like cocktails. I will drink apple cider, hard cider if I must, or beer if I must. Guinness, something that doesn't taste like beer. I can't really taste the enjoyment. I'd rather drink a Shirley Temple, a whole pitcher of that without anything in it, except for the cherries and the grenadine and the ginger ale. Well, I feel like my feet are telling me my wings are stressed, so I need to I think I want to do that rather than leave quite just yet. I'm going to find a nice off-road recreational area and stop. Now, should I hang up my flag while I'm standing around? Because I know I have this fantastic new flag, and I like it to be up, but that's some work. Some, not much, maybe 15 or 20 seconds worth. But I only wanted to give my feet a rest. I didn't necessarily wanted to actually stop and hang out, which putting up the flag would sort of entail. So I am going to decide when I get there. First of all, I have to find a grassy airfield. This whole place is an airfield. And I have to find one of the grass strips, which means one of the open areas where grass would be if it was sometime later in the year, I assume. When gardening, I like to have my wilderness house to look like it's a house on and surrounded by wilderness. So I don't like mowing the grass or anything like that. But I'm not averse to it, I suppose, in terms of the bugs and everything. Okay, I could stop here. Doesn't seem to be anybody. Okay. Well, I'm going to come in for a landing here and keep the show going at least for a second. The minute my feet touch something natural, they say thank you. Except they don't say anything at all. They just don't hurt so much. It's important to not overdo your metaphors. You start sounding like a first grade teacher, which I don't want to sound like. I was a teacher for a little bit. I was a substitute for a year. And I was well liked by the children, but not by the administration, because I was the kind of substitute you'd love to get, who comes in and perhaps makes things better for you in the future with your current teacher, but at the very most, or at least, let you have a fun day. So I did that. So, well paid, too. Would you believe that I was teaching in an elementary school, and the other teacher told me that I couldn't let the kids talk during lunch? And I said, what do you mean they can't talk during lunch? She said, yeah, we don't let them talk. We don't let them talk during lunch. So I said, what do you mean you don't let them talk during lunch? I still hadn't heard a good reason why they did that, and I refused to enforce it. So after doing that a couple of times in various ways, I was told that I really wasn't allowed to be a substitute anymore. And I was fine with that, because I couldn't have put up with that for more than 5 more minutes anyway. At this one place for bad children, which is a total misnomer, this guy tackled this girl because she was dancing around with her friend like it was Harry Potter. I about threw him through the window. Made me upset. Whew. And there were a couple other things. How did I get on that subject? I don't remember. Oh yeah, don't talk like a first grade teacher. I don't want to talk like a teacher at all, because teachers do what they can't. So no more teaching, only doing. But feel free to follow along and do it yourself. That's sort of my teaching by, what's the word? I can't think of it. Teaching by, I quit. I don't quit. I give up on thinking about it. It usually comes to you if you do that. Oh, I'm still teaching. I love it when I tell myself not to do something and I immediately do it, because is it either a habit or is it just because I don't like to tell myself what to do? It might be both. Okay, a tree. I like trees. I want 1 trillion of them. If you haven't heard, 1 trillion trees are going up soon. You want to talk about some building, Donald Trump? I'm going to build some trees all over your property. You can still play golf on if you can get it past all the trees. 1 trillion, or 2, or 3 trillion. As many trillion trees as it takes for the temperature to go down on average. 1/10 of 1% or whatever, just so it stops going up. And then we can fix it all the other ways that I've heard about. I can't remember them all, but there's 1,000 good ways to decrease the amount that we consume and decrease the amount that we pollute. So that sounds good to me. Now, I have to warn you, you that love shopping, that one part of fixing the environment is reducing consumer culture. So, as much as it might be fun to buy all kinds of different things for the hell of it, you're not going to be able to do that as cheaply. So, I hope that's okay. There will be a stop of inflation as well, because with less stuff made and less demand for stuff that's not necessary, there won't be the demand that pushes the price up. So just stop wanting all those things you don't really need. It really helps. I'm still lecturing. I don't want to lecture, I don't want to teach, I just want to talk. A lot of things to talk about, so maybe I should end the show. My major question was what to do in the next several hours. I can go to... last week I went and hung out in front of a bar, which is not bad, but it's too cold to do that tonight. And it's not too cold, I'm not dressed for it. I could go back to my hotel and change, but once I get back to my hotel, it's pizza and weed and television. Actually, I don't smoke when I get home. I'm fairly mentally exhausted. I don't want to increase my homework, sort of. I don't do homework, but when I smoke, I make myself do more exciting things. And when I get home, I'm a little bit worn out from all that, so I don't know. Let's see, what else can I tell you? My ankle is almost better. It's got like 5% more. I think tomorrow it should be good to go. I was going around here about as fast as I can go, but when I rest a while, it gets stiff, so should be better soon. And then, catch me if you can. Don't hurt yourself. Whenever I run you, if you ask for my attention, Mademoiselle, I have to change a video on my TikTok account, which I made in Washington, D.C., but the what I said didn't quite come out right, and but it's so good because I got the Capitol building there, and I'm non-violently and legally threatening all those jackasses, and so when should I go, or when should I inform Dan Goldman of his impending loss? I think it's funnier if he hears about it from somebody. Somebody's gonna be like, Dan, have you heard about this guy who's running as independent against you? And he'll be like, who cares? And they'll say, you should care. And then 5 minutes later, he'll lose. Or 5 months later, or a year later. I would say that by January of next year, I think it'll be all over. So, I don't know what then. Because you can't do much while you're not actually holding the office that has the official power. Because the whole system is designed to protect itself. So, while protesting and those sort of activities can be somewhat annoying to the person flying overhead at 45,000 feet in a suite at 500 miles an hour, they're not that annoying. And all those kinds of people don't really care if we like protesting in front of Elon Musk's a dealership. Like he'll hear about it. He'll be mad about it, but not really. Like this is 10 seconds of annoyance for him. Now, I did see that there is going to be a protest in front of Trump Tower. I saw that today on the Protest One. It's a website that lists all the protests in New York. So I saw that. So somebody's either listening to me or has the same idea, which is protest at the motherfucker's house. So, except it's not really his house. His house is in Washington, 300 yards from any possible protest. Or wherever he wants. Mar-a-Lago. He's got 15 different properties. And I would say that's too many homes. What are the number of mansions that you think the ex-billionaire should be allowed to keep? Obviously 1. 2 is beginning to stretch it. I certainly don't think any more than that. And the land limit I was thinking about, I had said 10,000 acres, but thinking about it, that's a lot of land. Even though I would love to have 10,000 acres, but that's really not necessary. I think 1,000, because you can have a really good farm, which is the one argument that I'm not going to be able to get around in terms of maximum acreage. So you can have a nice private farm with 1,000 acres, and that's enough. How's that sound? That's going up for popular vote, or at least everybody who hears the question. But popular voting is going to actually do something soon, because it's going to be available from your phone. There's going to be an app called Vote, or something like that, and you're going to be able to do everything that the government does in terms of decision making. That's on my platform. That's called Direct Democracy. Basically like a town hall that never ends. You don't have to go, but you can if you want. And if there's an important issue, I would assume you'd want. Certainly something to do that's at least as entertaining as Candy Crush, and certainly more important. I don't know. I could stroll down the street or something and keep talking, but I have to not get into an accident, so that limits my radio creativity. I used to drive around and do radio shows all the time, but for some reason that was easier. Well, a car is sort of like a studio. Most people just listen to music, but you could use it as an output studio, so that was fun. I don't know what to do. Should I stay or should I go? And if I go, where should I go? I could go east towards the bars and hang out as long as I can stand it, but I've already been here all day. I've gotten plenty of eyes on my name and website, so I don't really need to do more of that. If I'm going to go out, I should go out to go out. But I don't know of some place cool enough where I can just go and not have to spend $100 to hang out for a couple of hours and drink more than one drink and not be bombarded by music and be able to just chill. Play pool, play darts. I saw they had a pool table at Doc Holliday's, but it was really crowded. And again, the same problem. So, well, I could sit down, but no, I've already done that. I could lean, but one thing I do need to do is I did not put this. See this strap? This is not quite tight enough, and I need to take a little bit of the pressure off my back. But how do I do that while maintaining the show? I don't know. It might be impossible. Can I put the phone? I'm going to try something. If I end the show, I apologize. Okay. I think it should still be on without trying to record the fucking crowd here. Alright. Now can I... Alright. I just did the Quagmire voice. That's wonderful. Oh, there we go. Okay. I haven't seen Family Guy in a while. There's an absolutely horrible joke that Peter makes in one show that I had made into a... You know how at the mall you can get a custom, spray painting? So I got this... I don't want to... I can't say it. I will lose 100,000 votes if I say this joke. Well, maybe not. Anyway, it was really obnoxious, and I had it put on a like a 4x6 or no, not that small, a wall-size painting, and okay. So Peter's watching the news. I'm sorry, this is horrible. Trigger warning for every person who I want your attention from. So Peter's watching the news, and it says something like, rape is up in Rhode Island or Quahog 25% this year. So Peter says, now keep in mind that Peter is saying he's not participating in this as he's making the joke, which is, how come everybody's getting laid but me? Which is horrible, but anyway, so I put it up on a painting on my wall for a while, just to be a rebel, a creative rebel, and piss off the squares. I love pissing off squares. I could do that professionally. Actually, I am, because all the politicians are unbelievably square. They might drink a beer on camera, but Matt Gaetz was too much of a not square. You really should read my story. I talk about how I am not him, but have not him at all, and therefore am not engaged this evening. My dance calendar is open because of that. So, dance or any other sort of recreation and or party fun. Now, not a political party, fiesta party. I like those. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That's Monty Python. If you haven't seen that, that's a really good skit. Okay. Well, thank you for listening, and I am headed back. Should I keep going until I walk all the way through, or should I end now? I don't know. The longer the better, in my opinion, because I listen to them later, and when it ends, I'm like, oh no. So, well, why not? So, it is, let's take a guess. And by let's, I mean me, at what time it is. So I'm going to guess it is 5:46, and it is, stand by, oh, not bad, 5:49, 3 minutes off. I haven't looked at this in about an hour. So if you need the time told, I guess I can help you out. The year is 2025. The important one is this one and the next one, 2026. That's when I will steal politics from the super rich and give it to you. The arch is off to my starboard, and I thought there was a cafe to port to the left on the south side, but I only see bathrooms now. I haven't looked real closely. I still haven't had a reason to stop, so. But there should be a cafe here. Wonder why they're not vendors, maybe in the summer. There's got to be some rule. Silly. I don't like rules. Performing arts, if you'd like to stop by. There is some dancing and X Games and no gondolas. What is that? And there's architecture and, well, I'm pretty much describing someplace you already know. But the longer you spend in a place, the more you can appreciate the different things to do. Oh, I forgot to check the American Ninja Warrior course on my way past the last time. See if there were any children on it. I think there was a powwow going on. I heard some people hanging out there. But not today. When it gets warm, I'll have to come down in the morning. Okay, well, I've made it to the street. And I think now, with buses in view, I need to end the show. I do not consider myself enough of a city walking expert at high speeds to do a radio show and not die, so. Over!